of things out there about the size and all of this stuff, but people forget that Tank's a top 10 pound for pound fighter, and he's got power in both hands. And skill wise and technique wise, he's been doing this for so long.
I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. You know, he's a real fighter, you know, and got skills, high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, you know, I've personally seen Tank, you know, spar heavyweight.
This is the first camp I can, like, you know, enjoy myself and be back. My headspace that I'm in now is way better than what I was before, and that's the only thing that mattered to me.
Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis, a matchup no one saw coming. Two stars from completely different worlds stepping into the same ring, both hungry to prove they're the best. And the hype, it's real.
It's night and day, right? You have to understand, I went from doing YouTube and Disney Channel to 5 years, you know, once to twice a day, 6 to 7 days a week, training, recovery, taking it more serious than ever. I'm just a different specimen. My body is filled out. I'm going into my athletic prime and going into that, and my body filling out, I just feel amazing and feel super strong.
Jake Paul has been vocal about his preparation for the Tank Davis showdown. He says his training camp is packed with top-tier talent and proudly claims he's been dropping sparring partners. He even mentioned that Shocker is joining camp this week to help him prepare for the Tank fight. But Jake also revealed something rare for him. He admitted that Tank is dangerous. Many fans mock Tank's size, saying he's too small to hang with someone Jake's size. But Jake isn't buying that talk. He openly acknowledges that Tank's power is very real in both hands. He knows Tank hits like a truck despite his smaller frame. And for Jake to admit he's nervous about stepping into the ring with Tank, that's huge. It shows respect for Tank's knockout power, skill.
Going into a fight that I've actually ever been, because I know how good these people are that I'm sparring, and being able to see how good they are and knowing how good Tank is, it's actually going to be my toughest test to date.
Yeah, I think, Jake, you could make the argument, right? Pound for pound wise, this guy's the most ferocious dude in the whole sport, couldn't you?
For sure. I think he has probably one of the highest knockout percentages.
Yeah, 90-something%, right?
Exactly. And just his speed, his elusiveness, his ring IQ, his conditioning. You know, he's gone 12 rounds so many different times, something that I've never even done. So he's going to be sharp all the way through. I mean, the list goes on. And so just actually being vulnerable for a second, it's like, this is crazy. This is scary. It's kind of keeping me up at night.
Jake, how do you prepare for, like you said, a guy who is shorter than you? How do you find a sparring opponent to replicate something that obviously, you know, there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis? How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature-wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So just sparring against guys on their level and people who have, you know, been doing this their whole entire lives. But we're really focusing on speed and not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to like lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punches are coming off faster.
That fear alone proves this fight isn't the sideshow some people think it is. What most fans don't know is the truth behind Tank's journey. Since early in his career, he's sparred with heavyweights, not just big guys, but skilled, technical ones. Analyst Showbiz revealed that Tank didn't just survive those sessions, he dominated them. He punished fighters far bigger and stronger than himself. If Tank could handle those monsters in the gym, then a cruiserweight like Jake Paul won't surprise him. Jake might have the size advantage, but Tank's faced tougher challenges before. Those stories from the gym prove he's not intimidated by size. He's conquered bigger obstacles and come out on top. Showbiz even added that those heavyweight sparring partners were more technical and experienced than Jake. There's no denying Jake Paul's improvement. He's transitioned from internet fame to real boxing, but he's still learning. His fundamentals are still forming. Meanwhile, Tank has been fighting elite competition since his teenagers. If he could dominate opponents both heavier and more skilled than Jake, than Jake's size advantage alone.
Bigger people, like from middleweight to heavyweight. And the thing is, don't be surprised, okay? This is a photo. This is a photo of one of the bigger guys that he was sparring. But in the past, you know, like maybe a few years ago, he was fighting a guy in Mayweather's camp. He was a bigger guy. I think he was like a middleweight or something like that. He was whooping his ass. One time he was like on live whooping a bigger guy's ass. I mean, he's just beating bigger guys like middleweights and stuff. He's done that in sparring forever. Remember this story? I've brought it up a million times and I've showed this clip a million times, but on Ellie Set Back, this story of this guy saying how Gervonta Tank Davis knocked out this heavyweight.
Tell me the story. What happened?
Tank, what's the one boy name?
No, don't say a name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I'm like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Hey, I've seen him knock out some heavyweights. He might knock all the ass out now.
You knocked out a heavyweight?
Yeah.
How was that?
Because I hit harder than Wilder.
Now, granted, the heavyweights that Gervonta Tank Davis is whooping and sparring is not like, you know, all-time great heavyweights, all right? And it shouldn't be. But he's sparring the heavyweight, the level of heavyweight that, you know, more experienced than Jake Paul, right? But Jake Paul has beaten those heavyweights himself, all right? I'm thinking that is the caliber of heavyweight that Gervonta Tank Davis is sparring, but he's whooping their asses. And that's a good thing. I feel with Jake Paul sparring Raymond Ford, to me, it looked like Raymond Ford got the best of him. It looked like Jake Paul was a little exhausted, and it looked like Raymond Ford wasn't. It looked like Jake Paul was a little disappointed in his performance, and Raymond Ford was trying to give him a pick-me-up. Like, you know, just kind of letting him out. No, like, you know, we do this and do that. It just looked like Raymond Ford was in a confident, secure place, more dominant place, the more alpha out the two in the ring, and that's Raymond Ford. That ain't Gervonta Davis. You know, I love Raymond Ford. I have him on my fighters list. But still, I don't think anyone thinks he's as skillful or as powerful as Gervonta Tank Davis.
Won't be enough. As Showbiz said, this isn't a mismatch for Tank. If anything, Jake might be stepping into dangerous territory. Tank has also made one thing clear. He's done cutting down to 135 pounds. Too much strain, too much drain. He's moving up to 140, where he feels strongest. The decision shows maturity and focus. He's aiming for bigger names and bigger challenges, starting with Jake Paul. After this fight, Tank plans to stay at super lightweight permanently. He believes his performances will only get better, fresher, sharper, and even more explosive. Some fans say the new weight could put him at a disadvantage against Jake, but Tank disagrees. He says 140 is where his body feels perfect, where his stamina peaks, and his power becomes frightening. If he could knock people out at 135, imagine the destruction he can cause at full strength. Jake Paul might just be the first to feel the force of this new and improved Tank Davis. Analyst Carmel Monton agrees.
Had been throwing fits a few weeks ago when Gervonta had announced that he would be fighting Jake Paul in, I believe it's coming up in just about a month, or a little bit less than a month. And that he would not be, at least immediately, he would not be rematching Lamont Roach. So people went all up in arms. Shout out to my guy, Big Dog Willie, who even right now is claiming that Gervonta Davis is going to go try to fight in WWE or something like that when he gets done with Jake Paul. But the truth of the matter is that Gervonta Davis is coming back to boxing. He's always said that he's coming back to boxing. He said he's going to run off, get this bag real quick, and he'll be right back. Well, as you see, the 135-pound WBA, the WBA, where he holds his 135-pound championship, has not stripped him. They said that they were going to look into it if he had not rematched Lamont Roach, but nothing ever really came of that. So as of right now, he still has his 135-pound title, but I'm telling you, the way that things are panning out, I don't think he's going to go back down to the 135-pound division. I think he's going to go to the 140-pound division where really and truly all the smoke is there. Add to it the fact that when he fights Jake Paul, he's going to be fighting Jake Paul at a higher weight than he would necessarily be fighting guys at 135 pounds. You're probably not going to see him drain down for the fight. I don't think he's going to bulk up at all. But usually even when guys play with their weight and they go up and allow themselves to fight at a higher weight or fight people at higher weight classes.
Tank sparring heavyweights means Jake's size won't matter. Skill beats strength every time. Modin knows Tank personally. He's seen the grind, the dedication, and the precision behind closed doors. That insight gives weight to his prediction. Tank won't just win, he'll win convincingly. Talent beats size, skill beats strength, and Gervonta Tank Davis has both in abundance. That's it for today's breakdown. Stay tuned for more updates, and let's see if Jake Paul truly understands the kind of storm he's stepping into.